a team adds a scholarship contributor, a week into practice and a month into a semester?
I've been part of somebody who's been with us to where you're waiting on an eligibility status, and it takes a while for that eligibility status to get cleared up. And it's been into practice, but never when somebody's actually graduated from another institution, and then obviously coming in on the fifth-year transfer rule. Obviously, you don't know that information when someone starts on quarters, and their first day of school is September 29th. Obviously, the institution he signed with didn't admit him, so then you don't find out at that point. And so your knee-jerk reaction is, it's obviously too late, there's no way, but as you start to piece everything together and you have a program that fits in from a master's program like we do, then it all was like, why can't it work? It's very unconventional, but he was able to check off at each area, and we're happy that he's a part of our program.
What kind of player are you getting? I mean, do you even know?
Yeah, well, with synergy, you can watch every play he's ever played in the last 2 years of college, and so you're able to do that. You're able to talk, to a lot of people that's either coached him or he's coached against him. And we tried to get involved when it first happened, in late spring, early summer, whenever. I don't know the timing of it, when he became available and he started to try to decide what schools he was going to visit. And obviously, we didn't get in the fray, and he chose to go to UCLA. So we did some late work at that time and did some homework in terms of finding out about him and finding out what kind of player he is. So he's a hard-nosed, tough, very versatile guy. He can guard 3 positions. He can play 3 positions. He's played the point. He's played off the basketball. He's very good at driving the ball, and just kind of has a feel for drawing fouls. He hasn't been a high assist guy. He's actually been a low assist guy, but he's also been a low turnover guy, which is something that has really helped us. And we've had guys like that. We've had guys like Keaton Grant that have been very good players for us, that just played to his strengths, didn't get a lot of assists, but didn't get a lot of turnovers, and that's helped us. I think he was a 1.8 to 1 assist-to-turnover ratio, which is not bad. It's not great, but it's pretty solid.
Does this kind of change the way you look at your point guard situation right now, or do you have to coach him for a couple of days before you can talk about it or consider things?
Yeah, I know he can play the position. I don't think it's his ideal spot. I think defensively he can really help us there. Probably more than anything, you can kind of put him where you're short. If guys aren't as productive in a certain spot, you can fit him in there. He's obviously an experienced guy, and that's what we need. He's the oldest guy on our team. He's in his 5th year. We only have one other guy that's in their 4th year, Neil Pashears, and then we have 2 other guys from a scholarship standpoint, A.J. Hammond and Rayfield Davis, that are 3rd-year guys. So that experience, he's been in the NCAA tournament. He's played for a very good coach, a guy that is great in teaching defense and really getting guys to stick with his defensive rules. And so he's going to be prepared to guard. He's going to understand that.
What do you see as his offensive profile from a scoring standpoint? I mean, he was averaging about 14 a game, but doesn't look like he necessarily shoots the ball or hasn't in the past shot it great.
He's a low-volume 3-point shooter. He makes a little under 1 a game, shoots about 2.5 a game per average, just looking at his numbers. That has not been his strength in the past, but everybody we talked to said he's worked very, very hard at shooting the basketball to get to that point. So I would expect him to continue to work along those lines, but not be a high-volume 3-point shooter in the past. Just, I think he's an opportunistic guy that can drive the basketball, understands how to play, has a strong will, puts in a lot of time. There's a lot of people that were consistent across the board, and really just describing his attributes as a person and a player. They all said a lot of the same things.
You had a situation last year, too, where you're bringing in a 5th-year guy to a young team, hoping that would help with some maturity and experience. Did that experience that you went through last year affect this decision at all? Did you feel like that was a positive thing, or was it just a matter of just bringing in a good player?
A little bit of both. I think he's got a chance to make more of an impact than the 2 guys last year. He's had more success than those 2 guys, and at a higher level than those 2 guys. But I like his competitive spirit. You know, I think that was something that Sterling really helped us with, and Sterling really stayed the course for us and kept plugging. It was unfortunate he couldn't finish his last year, and so you know we hope he can come in and use his athleticism to help us on both ends of the court.
You got to put him on any sort of, for lack of a term, acclimation program. I mean, you coach 13 guys one way and the 14th guy another way since he just got here.
Yeah, no question. You have to do that. These guys have the summer. You know, they have the fall workouts. They've been around. You have your 5 freshmen that are new, and everybody else has been here before. But if you compete, it really shores a lot of your weaknesses. And he's a competitive kid. He's a hard-working kid, and he'll pick up. He has made an adjustment before. He's went from one junior college to another. He's went from that junior college to Colorado State, and now he's coming here. So he's been in transition before and been able to adjust and do a good job with that.
I think a lot sometimes made of sort of the cutthroat scenario between the player transfers and things like that, or recruiting and things like that. But it sounded like he was very grateful to Ed Schilling as far as helping this happen. How did that sort of role play here?
Well, you'd have to ask him in terms of that. I did reach out